Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Linn, and I hope you're well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. And let's get into the message. So, okay. Main thing that I'm getting is you may be kind of in this weird phase, period, womb, if you will, of the Divine Mother, where you're kind of, how do I say it? Okay, so there is a very prominent focus right now on self-love, on self-confidence, on going through specifically the programming surrounding your worth as a being and as a human, and the different conditioning that you've had conditioned into you since you were younger. And it's almost like a reflection of who you used to be when you were a child, or in the moments where that conditioning didn't have a grasp or hold on you, to now seeing how each individual conditioning in each moment, honestly, you may have many memories from the past coming up, and you may be like, what the heck, like, I thought I already worked through all of this. But actually, the reason why it's all coming back up is for you to look at the patterns and the conditionings, specifically, that are still affecting your current view of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, in terms of your capabilities as a person, in terms of your view of your own, of your like body, your appearance, in terms of what you think you can offer the world at all. Like, it's all it's a deeper dive into self-love, self-confidence again. So you've probably been through moments of this or shadow work of this before, but it's coming back around again to see kind of like where you're at and to go even just a little bit deeper, to really sit with the most uncomfortable struggles that you've had based on certain conditioning that you've had. So I could give an example. Maybe when, as you were growing up, you were conditioned to believe that, I don't know, going into, I feel like I always like, this is just a very generic example. Maybe you were conditioned by your family to go into a certain profession, because they said that that's the best profession to be in. It's where you make all the money. It's where you have the prestige. It's where people, they regard you highly or whatever because you go into that profession. So you're conditioned to think that any other path besides that path is invaluable or invalid, right? Not true, but it's the conditioning. So you're going back through these different moments and different beliefs from other people, from society that you live in, that have been intricately weaving your view of what's possible for you. And not only that, but your view of your worth. What makes you valuable? But nothing outside of you makes you valuable. And we know this, right? Cognitively. But it's another thing to be able to reconcile that understanding in your mind, and to deprogram what you've been programmed. It is a very extensive process, and it's hard, it's difficult. So you're going back through and you're seeing all those different little programmings and how they added up over time to manifest as the beliefs that you have ingrained within you now, right? So, yeah, so right now there's a lot of introspection, attention, focus on those deeper patterns. And your mind may kind of be like, oh no, like it's all coming back up, like we're regressing, like we're going back, we didn't make any progress, like I thought we went through this again, like I was saying. And no, that's not what it is at all. Again, it's another, essentially just a check-in, a call to go even deeper this time because you're strong enough to go even deeper than previous before. So, that's why a lot of stuff may be coming up and you're like, what the heck? I just saw 515 on the timer. You're like, what the heck? Why is this all coming back up? Like, I thought that I was over this anxiety of this, or this outlook on this, blah, blah, blah. I worked through it so much, and you probably have. But there's still more. There's still more. And that can be a little disheartening to hear sometimes, but it's not really disheartening because, again, it's a process, and human beings aren't perfect. There's always something to be working through and evolving through because that's the point of being here as a human. So we're never really finished, we're never really done, but it's not a bad thing. It can be very empowering. So I'm gonna read the lyrics of a song, of course, because I love channeling songs and they always come through. So I'm just gonna read this for you real quick and then we'll get further into it. So it says, it's hard to see beyond what's in sight, but when you tilt the light, you realize, for 1,000 nights, I've been a restless soul, just wasting time digging up fool's gold. It took 1,000 lives being on my own for me to find it was all fool's gold without you. So that song is called 1,000 Nights by FRENSHIP. I'll put it in the description. But essentially, there's a recognition that because of the programming, because of the intricate web of compounding beliefs that have made you think that your worth lies in something external, lies in a job, lies in appearance, lies in relationship. It doesn't. It doesn't. And you're coming into a deeper recognition of it, like a deeper ability to really feel that and know that on a deeper level. So, like it says, been a restless soul, wasting time digging up fool's gold. You may have spent a lot of time chasing these external things and operating from the belief that something external reflected your worth, and you know that it doesn't. But you haven't really come to that knowing until now, like that deeper knowing that your value really is your soul. It comes from your soul. And even your body, your human vessel avatar, is worth everything because you exist, because you are from Mother Gaia and you will return to Mother Gaia. So there's a recognition that your value is inherent. It always was, it always will be. Nothing changed that. Like, nothing will ever change that. It's literally just the view, the perspective that makes you feel or think that you're not inherently valuable or that you don't have that inherent value. But that's an illusion. It's a lesson. It's the dark, right? It's the shadow showing us deeper parts of ourselves, and it's necessary. But you're recognizing that as these memories are coming up, you're really seeing how you were digging up fool's gold. Literally going after things that you didn't actually want to be going after, and it was from a space of wounding, a space of conditioning, a space of programming that doesn't resonate with you anymore. And at that time, you probably weren't even aware that you were acting from that space. Most people don't know until later on, and some people never know. So the fact that this is another thing, celebrate and honor the fact that you were able to recognize that patterning, the programming, that you were able to recognize what was happening in that wasn't you. You were operating from illusion, programming, conditioning. You were operating from that, and you were able to recognize what was happening. Step out of it. 10-10, I saw on the timer. 10-10. Recognize it and begin to deprogram and free yourself from it, right? That is incredible and really difficult, okay? Like, and I'm not trying to be like, it's really difficult to get out of things, like, it's really, but like, it kind of is. As a human being, like, with the tools, the minds we have, like, and the conditioning of society, and like, it is a lot, especially if you're more sensitive. It's a lot. It's heavy sometimes, right? But you were able to see all of that, and not only see it, but make your way out of it, and continue to make your way out of it and be aware of it. Not shy away or ignore it, or continue to just blindly act out of it. You saw that you didn't want to be that anymore. You had the awareness, and you chose. You chose differently for yourself, and that's beautiful. So, it's hard to see beyond what's in sight, but when you tilt the light, you realize. That's that awareness, that's that perspective lighting up within you. And once you see it, you can't turn away. You can't go back. This is a very powerful time for you in terms of self-love and self-confidence, like I said. You are really intricately freeing yourself from that web of your past memories. I did pull cards, so here we go. I pulled this one, which is your past supports your future, number 11. You're seeing how, so you're seeing that you're able to free yourself from the way you used to operate, from that programming, from that stuff, but also not only that, how to use that to transform yourself, reinvent yourself, to fall in love with your own story, right? And your own story does include your past. Regardless of mistakes you made, right? Things you've been through, things that happened around you or to you or within you, that is all a part of who you are now. It's a tapestry of life and of death and rebirth that has brought you to your current self. And in that way, it is absolutely beautiful. Fall in love with your whole life, everything that makes you who you are. And that doesn't mean that you have to, because I'm not telling you what to do. You do whatever you need to do. You do whatever feels right to you. You be whatever feels right to you. But know that every single little part of your journey has brought you to who you are right now. And in that, it is beautiful and it has value. Your past has value. It does not have to dictate how you operate currently, and it doesn't. This is what I'm trying to say. You're using your past to fuel your current version of self. You're using that awareness of how you used to operate, awareness of how things used to be, to actively change how you are now and who you want to be in the future. What you will accept, what you won't accept. What you believe about yourself and what you are getting rid of. What you used to believe about yourself but that you don't resonate with anymore, and you don't want to continue to think things about yourself that only hold you back, only bring you down, only serve to hurt you and bring you back into past patterns and ways of being that, again, you're like, I already did that. I know that's not good. I don't even want to do that anymore. Like, I'm done with that. You've been there, done that. Like, literally, been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. I want to be something else now. I want to be somewhere else now. I want to bring myself higher. And, okay. And number 38, encouragement. Encouragement. This encouragement, though, is coming from different places. Encouragement from your ancestors, encouragement from your spirit team, encouragement from God, source, divine, whatever you want to call it, and from your higher self, from your from your inner child, from every version of you, past, present, future. There's encouragement to actively go into these darker aspects again as needed, but not with this sense of dread of like, oh, this again, right? And that's totally natural to feel that way at first, but recognize that the more that you allow yourself to go into the darker aspects again when needed, the more liberating it is, because when you hold yourself back from going back into past programming to look at it, to observe it, maybe to feel it if there's something you need to process, if you ignore that, if you don't allow yourself to go into the dark shadow again when needed, when absolutely necessary for you to move forward, you're going to get stuck. Because you're denying what needs to be looked at, what needs to be released, what needs to be acknowledged. And it doesn't have to be strenuous. I'll give you an example. Me personally, right? This is getting a little bit vulnerable, but I've struggled with like body image issues since I was younger, right? From stuff that happened to me, stuff I've been through. And it is what it is. But last night, actually, it was like I was having a flare up of like body image thoughts and emotions and like beliefs and stuff that aren't even really resonant with me. Like, I don't actually truly believe these things about myself. It was a result of conditioning and of energies, patterns, experiences, right, that were built up within me and still are, and I'm working through it. But this is what I'm saying. If I allowed myself to acknowledge, feel it, even though it was so uncomfortable, because every time that these things do come up, they can be very uncomfortable, they can be disorienting, they can be annoying, and you're like, why am I having to feel this way? And it's like, yes, but you are feeling that way, so you might as well just let yourself feel that way and acknowledge that it exists, because denial never helps, right? So I allowed myself to sit with the discomfort, with the negative thoughts, the weird conditioning loops that aren't even really me, but were conditioned into me. And I just wrote down how I felt. And maybe this works for you, journaling, but I wrote down how I felt, the things, the behaviors, and the thoughts that I entertained that were reinforcing these beliefs about myself, about my body image, right? About me just existing, right? It's so interesting because from that I was able to go back into my past and revisit memories that contributed to how I currently was feeling about myself or thinking about myself that wasn't helpful and wasn't true, right? So you may be experiencing that. Whatever it is for you, it might not be body issues. It may be, again, beliefs about career, what you have to do, or relationships, the kind of people you have to be around, blah, blah, blah. Like the type of person that you need to be, or that you're not capable of this or capable of that. Like, it could be so many different things. But acknowledging that it exists and allowing yourself to sit in the discomfort, reflect on it, and truly get deep in there, deep into the details, deep into the intricacies, you'll be able to free yourself right after. Because as soon as I did that, as soon as I sat with myself and just wrote everything out, accepted that was happening, And then I was rewriting, well, I actually don't believe that about myself. This is what I believe about myself now. This is how I actually feel about myself when I am acknowledging the conditioning. And not just that, but like acknowledging what that is showing me. Because this is quite interesting in terms of body image, right? There's like societal conditioning that you have to look a certain way to be valued. But also simultaneously, when people do look a certain way, look the standard, they are objectified. It's such an interesting imbalance. So either way, whether you fit the standard or you don't, there is this imbalance, this extreme energy of rejection or objectification. And it's so strange, right? Like it's weird, and it's kind of gross actually. But when you see that those shadow aspects of standards, for example, body image standards, body like beauty standards, whatever it is, you start to see that as you are exploring, again, this is just my example, as I've been exploring how I view myself because of these things, I've not only been able to have more love for myself, I've been able to have more love for other people. Because I understand that other people are functioning out of these societal things. And they're not always conscious of it. And it's really interesting, but it also allows you to have more unconditional love for yourself and everybody else. Because you see how other people are struggling with the same thing you are. And you also see how you being able to acknowledge how it's affecting you is going to transform that energy in a way where you'll be able to help other people that are going through the same thing as you, because you've been able to transform it and use the energy and get out of the programming in an effective way, in a healthy way that equips you to help people who specifically struggle with what you do. You may not understand that, but that is exactly what you are doing. You are opening that energy up. And you may not even have to say anything to anybody else about this. It's just the energetic choice to transform that, all that darkness, that shadow, into something that helps you become a more integrated, beautiful version of yourself. Right? Quite interesting. But, oh, look at that. Then we have Stag Spirit, Leadership, number 39. Leadership. So, not only are you a leader for yourself by doing all of this, by looking at the darker aspects of the conditioning and the patterns, but you are effortlessly allowing yourself to become a leader to actually, oh, this is so interesting. You're actually becoming able to lead other people into their own darkness, to transmute it, transform it, to integrate it. Because we're not trying to get rid of the darkness, okay? That's not the point of any of this. To be like, oh, I don't like the darkness. Oh, I don't like this part of myself. That is where shame and anxiety and guilt come in. There's no shame. There's no guilt in the shadows. The shadows are what they are. They're also energies. They're also lessons. But they are also part of the bigger truth of existence. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing shameful or guilty about it. It simply is what it is. And it is the other side of the coin that allows light to exist. Right? Because without shadow, you don't have light. Without light, you don't have shadow. That's the way that it is. So, it's really interesting. But yeah, you are using your darker energies, your shadow, to lead other people into a better life for themselves. And again, you may not even be consciously doing this. It could just be on an energetic level. It's just the bravery and, yeah, really bravery to dive deeper into yourself is catalyzing that for other people too, for other souls around you, for greater humanity. And you don't even have to know that this is happening for it to be true. Your mind does not have to physically see these things. It's hard to see beyond what's in sight, but when you tilt the light, you realize. It's hard to see how your efforts on an individual level ripple across the planet. But it's happening. It's happening whether you fully know it in every single moment, which you won't, or not. Trust that. So, and I was going to show these two cards. Make a mission statement for your soul, number 58. And celebrate your wins, number 49. So again, celebrating how far you've come. Maybe someone is completing something right now. Maybe you're graduating. Maybe you're finishing up like a program or something. Or you just accomplished something. Give yourself time to really sit. And again, maybe it could be the shadow work. Maybe you've really come to a deep truth that you are so proud of yourself for getting to. Give yourself time to really celebrate yourself. Celebrate how far you've come. That is essential. That is essential. And make a mission statement for your soul. Knowing what you know now and what you are continuing to learn through this integration, through the shadow work. Get clear about who you want to be with that, where you want to go with that. What do you want to create? And it's not just about career that Western society likes to focus on. It's about your life, your existence. What do you want to put energy into? What do you want to use this integration for? How do you want to use your integration for your creation, essentially? Start thinking about it thinking about it not just from the mind, but from the heart, from the soul, from peace, from calm, from joy. What lights you up? And what makes you feel fulfilled? What makes you feel grounded, in peace, in joy? What makes you feel love for yourself and other people by you doing it and you being in it? Recently, honestly, I've seen people say this a lot of times, is the things that you did when you were a child, the things that lit you up when you were a child, are often the things that you're meant for, are often the things that you actually want to be doing. It's actually a purpose. It's not always that we come into knowing like what we want to do. There are usually clues when we look back on who we've been and who we are, the different pieces of ourselves that show us what we're meant to do and who we're meant to be. It's not always the search. You can actually reflect back on who you've been in the different parts of yourself, literally to show you a roadmap of your mission statement, of your purpose, of what you want to be doing. It's not always so serious either. There's so much emphasis on on this like serious, like, oh, I gotta do this in the world, I gotta be this person. But for what? Why do you want to be that person? Because society said that type of person is valuable? Here we go again. Or maybe instead, you're inherently valuable and you're just going to do what feels good to you. And naturally, what feels good to you, the more you embrace it, it's going to naturally have a positive impact on the world. And it doesn't even have to, again, It's hard to see beyond what's in sight, but when you took the light, you realize it's not all about what you see in front of you. We talk about this all the time. Not everything that is beautiful and positive is something that you can see with your physical eye. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how much status you have, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, whatever. The real value is inside. We know this. The real value is in your intention. It's in your love. Okay? That is the real value. The real value. So, wow, this has been a really, really beautiful reading. And I hope it's been helpful for you. I know it has for me. Straight channeling here. Yeah. So, trust that you know what to do next and that you can dive into this next stage of shadow work with joy, with peace, knowing that you can handle it because you've handled every single thing before. This is just another piece of it. It's just another stage. Oh, 3, 1, 1, 3. So, hope you guys are well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. And I will see you in the next video.